Morning, everyone. Happy Sabbath. How are you, Sabbath? Good. We want to praise the Lord for another opportunity that God has given us to study the Word of God. Our study this morning is a little bit deeper than what we are usually studying. And I want to challenge you to open your Bible and at the same time open your mind. I want you to focus because this study that we're going to have is one of the most relevant studies we will have, especially we're living in the end time. And we do believe that we are living in the end time. We do believe that, as I said at the end of this church, amen? We are living in the last days. And I believe, my dear friends, that what we are going to study is very relevant. And you will see that around you, especially into the news. And I want to give a little warning as I begin. My study that I want to share is specifically given for the people in this church. So you may be wondering, my dear friends, of something new that we'll be studying, especially for those visitors. So I want to apologize if the sermon is a little bit straight and a little bit on point. And as this is hard for me to discuss, especially if there's some visitors. But I want to say ahead of time that the study that we'll be having might include some religion or some religious system that we're going to study. Okay, so as I move forward, I want to say that we are not condemning people that is part of the system. Okay, we are not going to condemn, not going to judge people that is under the system. We are talking about the system itself. Amen? So you may be part of this religion, I do not know. But I'm not talking against you, I'm talking about the system. Are you following so far? They said that Jakarta, or Indonesia, is one of the most corrupt government in the whole world. Is that true? Yes? Where's Bang Sandi? Is that true? Yeah, Bang Sandi? Okay. We were recorded, by the way, so they must be really careful. But they said it's one of the most corrupt. We believe that, right? But I'm not talking about the Indonesian people, amen? I'm talking about the Indonesian system of government. Are you following so far? So this very morning, I might discuss some religion that you are included. I'm not talking about the system or the people of that religion, amen? I'm talking about the system that is part of Bible prophecy. And we'll see that as we move forward. Satan is not happy that we're discussing something here. I hope it works because we need PowerPoint on this. We'll wait for it. Can you restart, please? Or if you have the other cord, the white one that you were holding last time, I would much appreciate it. Okay, I need to start with a PowerPoint because one more. Where's the other white one? Yeah. Why don't we pray one more time? Let's pray one more time. Let's pray. Father in heaven, this is very important. And Satan knows that. At the same time, you know it, Father. So I'm asking you to please send me your spirit. Fix the problem, Father, that we have in our projector and my computer. Whatever it is, Father, may it not hinder the message that we're going to study in this very time. In Christ's name. Amen. Hope it was after the prayer. How about that? start it like Jesus did. In a PowerPoint. Okay. The title of our topic this very morning, entitled it Persecution Without. Persecution Without. This is a series of topics that we are going to study for the remaining Sabbath of July. And this is 3 series. That is persecution without, persecution within, and persecution deep within. So I'm going to talk about persecution that affected God's people, especially His church in this generation as we're living in the last days. Please open your Bibles to the book of Joel. The book of Joel. I don't know how to pronounce that. Joel. Let's say Joel. Okay, Joel chapter 2. If you have your Bibles with you, Joel chapter 2. Joel chapter 2. Don't mind the projector. Joel chapter 2. And if you're there, let me know by saying amen. Amen. Joel chapter 2. Let us begin reading at verse 1. The Bible gives us a warning here about our generation. The Bible tells us, blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound a what one? An alarm. The Bible tells us, my dear friends, that we should sound an alarm. It says, in my holy mountain, let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. So the Bible tells us, my dear friends, that because the coming of the Lord is near, the servants of God should sound, and what did the Bible use? The word alarm. So therefore, every single minister that believes that Jesus is about to come, the message that is about to be given, or every message that is given in the pulpit should be a message of alarm. Is that clear, everyone? Because we are living in the last days. And in fact, this is what Ellen White said in comment to Joel chapter 2. This is what she said. There's no projector. I wish you could read this. Great Controversy, page 331. Great Controversy. Great Controversy, page 331. Ellen White said to... It says, to prepare a people to stand in the day of God, a great reform was to be accomplished. Did you hear that? So Ellen White said, in order for our people to prepare for what is coming, for the second coming of Jesus, what must happen to the church? A great what? A great, can you say that with me? Great reform must be done. It says, God saw that many, how many? Many of His professed people were not building for eternity in His mercy. Did you understand that? Many are not preparing for eternity. She said, He was a mercy. He was about to send a message of warning to arouse them from their supper and lead them to make ready for the coming of the Lord. Now notice what Ellen White said. Ellen White said that in order for the people to prepare for the second coming, there must be an alarm or a warning. Are you understanding so far, my dear friends? So therefore, since we're living in the last days, our message is supposed to be is a message of warning. Why are we preaching a message of warning? For the people to prepare on what is coming. Are you following so far? Is that clear? So therefore, I felt the need, when I saw that quotation, I felt the need to give a message of warning. This is what the message is all about. A message of warning. In fact, my dear friends, if you have your Bibles, please open it in the book of Daniel chapter 12. Daniel chapter 12, as we're still fixing with projector. Daniel chapter 12. Is it inserted? Yes. Daniel chapter 12, yeah, it's there. Daniel chapter 12, the Bible said in verse 1. The Bible said in verse 1. It says, Daniel chapter 12. Let me just look at the Bible, wait for the speaker. Daniel chapter 12, if you're there, let me know by saying amen. Right. It's okay. Let's be family here, right? It's okay. Sometimes we have technical difficulties. It's okay. Daniel chapter 12, beginning at verse 1, the Bible tells us this. The Bible said, And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which stand up for the children of the people. And I want you to read that together. It says, and there what? There shall be a time of trouble, such as never it was, since there was. Now stop there. So the Bible tells us, my dear friends, in Daniel chapter 12, verse 1, that there shall be a time of what, everyone? A time of trouble, such as never it was since there was a nation. As if Daniel is out of words. He seems that cannot describe the thing. Sorry, it's not mine. He can't describe the event that is coming. He said by his pen, he said, there's a time of trouble, such as never it was since there was a nation. That means since Adolf Hitler came, since all the tyrants of this world came, it made it like a baby. So there will be a time of trouble, such as never it was. Did it happen? Yes or no? Did it already happen, a time of trouble? Yes or no? Not yet, right? It's still coming. Now, I want you to notice what Ellen White said. Last Day Events, page 239. The book Last Day Events, page 239. Ellen White said, angels are now restraining the winds of strife that they may not blow until the world. The strife is wars and calamities. It says, sorry, wait first, yeah. Let me tell you a little secret. When I speak, I don't have any scripts. So when I get distracted, I get distracted. So we'll wait for it first. It's better for you to understand more than just going on and I get out of focus. I don't know why it's like that. Okay? I think this is it. Go. Can we shift again one more time? Can we click again? One more? Okay. So we give up. We give up. Okay. Why don't we do it without projector? Yeah? Okay, we'll do it. Just like a sermon in the mount. Okay. Now this is what Ellen White said. I want you to listen. It says, angels are now restraining the winds of strife that they may not blow, until the world shall be warned of its coming doom. So what Ellen White said is saying, what Ellen White is saying is that before Jesus sends in strife and calamities, the world must be warned first. Are you following so far? So there must be a warning before the time of trouble. But a storm is gathering. A storm is what, everyone? A gathering. Ready to burst upon the earth. And when God shall bid his angels to loose the winds, Ellen White said, when God sends his angels to loose the wind, there will be such a scene. I'll take it slowly, okay? There will be such a scene of strife as no pen can picture. I'll repeat that again. Ellen White said, there will be such a scene of strife that no pen can picture. That means even the prophet herself cannot describe what's going to happen. Are you following so far? This is very important, my dear friends. Even Daniel himself saw the very future. He said, I cannot describe it. One thing is certain, that it's never happened since the history of nation. Ellen White said, this is so terrible that not even my pen can describe what's going to happen. Are you following so far? When I read that, my dear friends, I almost trembled. I tell you the truth with all honesty. That very night, I can't even sleep. I said, I'm not even ready. My friends were texting me on what is happening around the world, what is happening around us. They were texting me, they were calling me in Skype. They said, Jasper, we are not ready. in the middle of the night, texting me in the Philippines, Jasper, me and my family is not really what is going to happen. I wish that our church knew what's going to happen, my dear friends. I don't want to give you a foretaste of what is going to happen, but this is a serious matter, my dear friends. Even the prophet herself, she said, the Omega is coming, the last delusion is coming, and I tremble for my people. I'll repeat that again. Even she said, I tremble for my people. But sometimes we as a people are not even scared of what is happening. Why? Because we don't really care. But as a minister of the gospel, my dear friends, I am here to give a message of warning. But oh, I pray we can fix the projector because something is happening, my dear friends. Testimonies, Volume 8, page 315. A storm is coming, relentless in its fury. Are we prepared to meet it? That's what Ellen White said. There is a storm coming, relentless in its fury. Are we prepared to meet it? In fact, if you have your Bibles with you, let me give you a little story here. Daniel chapter 3. We lost so much time, so I need to shorten up this sermon. Daniel chapter 3. If you're there, let me know by saying amen. Daniel chapter 3, my dear friends, I'll tell you, is a story specifically, is a type or a symbol of what is going to happen in the last days. Daniel chapter 3. Daniel chapter 3, I wish you're opening your Bibles. Daniel chapter 3, beginning at verse 1. The Bible said, let's read that together. The Bible said, Nebuchadnezzar, the king, made an image of gold, whose height was 80 cubits, and the breadth thereof 6 cubits. He set it up in the plains of Dura, in the province of Babylon. Now notice the Bible tells us, my dear friends, there was a king by the name of Nebuchadnezzar. And Nebuchadnezzar is a king of what kingdom? Babylon. Now notice, my dear friend, that he made an image of gold. An image of what or what? Gold. Now I want to ask you a question, my dear friends. Where did Nebuchadnezzar get this inspiration to make an image of gold? According to his dream. But there was a little twist on this. That twist is this, my dear friends. What was the image all about according to his original dream? Huh? It was the head of gold only. It was not an image of gold, right? Now notice that the Bible tells us that Nebuchadnezzar, you're not going to be all gold, you're just that head of gold. Now what God implies to that is that your kingdom is not going to last forever. But Nebuchadnezzar said, no, I don't want a head of gold, I want an image of gold. What does that mean? It is a defiance against God's will. Are you following so far? I don't like just to stay as a head. I want it to last forever. Are you following so far? So this image that was created, what's the word that I use? This what? And put that in the memory card of your brain. Okay, because we will go back to the word image. Now, the image that was used was a defiance against God's will. Are you following so far? Let us proceed. The Bible tells us, my dear friend, that he gathered all the people around, the servants, all poor, everyone, the officers to come to the plains of Dura, right? So this is a nationwide law to worship something, right? Are you following so far? Now, I want you to proceed. It says, verse 7, this is the decree. It says, therefore, at that time, when all the people, verse 7, it says, heard the sound of the cornet, the flute, the sackbut, the psaltery, all kinds of music. All the people, the nation, and the languages fell down and worshipped the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. Yay! Praise the Lord! Hallelujah! Amen. Praise the Lord. Okay, that's a picture. Okay, praise the Lord. God is good. Problem now is time. Because we lost so much time. Okay, now what you notice? So Nebuchadnezzar ordered every single one to go to that plains of Dura, and everyone is there, right? The Bible tells us that whoever not worship and bow down to the image, what will happen there? Only there it goes? Huh? It's okay to talk back, huh? Throw into the fiery furnace. That's what the Bible said. And the Bible said, verse 12. Look at verse 12 now. verse 12. We don't have any time to discuss the whole thing. It says, there are certain, what? Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O king, have not regarded me. They have served not my gods, nor worshipped the golden image which thou hast set up. So the Bible tells us that there was a golden image, and you needed to bow down. And how many people did not bow down? 3. Only 3 people did not bow down. Can you imagine that? This is the Jewish nation, by the way, is the capital of Babylon. That means there's a lot of Jews back there, but only 3 stood up. They are a symbol of the remnant church. It's not going to be many who stand up for God, my dear friends. Only a remnant few will stand up. But that's another topic. But I want you to notice, my dear friends, an image. Now, notice this, okay? Please remember this. This is the very core. An image was set up. What was set up? An image was set up, right? And the decree was given that whosoever will not worship the image shall be what? Shall be, in general, shall be killed. Are you following so far? Image, law, kill. Are you following so far? Put that in your mind, okay? Now, go to Revelation 13. Go to Revelation chapter 13. As we chase our time. Revelation chapter 13. If you're there, let me know by saying amen. Amen. Okay. Now, I want you to notice verse 11. The Bible said, and I, test. Okay. It says, verse 11, and I beheld another beast coming out of the, what everyone? Earth. And he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. So now notice there's a beast, okay? There's a beast like this, okay? He has 2 horns like a lamb, but something is different. The beast, the Bible prophecy, is a symbol of what everyone? A kingdom or nation, right? So this beast is a nation or a kingdom. Unlike any other beast in the book of Revelation, he had no crowns in his horns. Are you following? Oh, wish we had time to study Revelation 13. But I hope to pray that you attend our AYs in the future and study Revelation 13, okay? But that's not my topic. But let's go forward. Verse 12. It says, and he exercises all the power of the first beast before him. Who's the first beast again? Oh no, my people. Huh? Who's the first beast? It's the papacy, right? We need to study this. Okay, it's hard to speak without us knowing this. It says, first beast before him, and causes the earth of them which dwelleth into them, that to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed. It says in verse 13. No, why not we go to verse 14. It says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by means of those miracles which had power to do the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image of the beast, which was wounded by a sword and did live. Question, did you see the word image? An image was set up. Number 1. Now proceed to verse 15. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as should not worship the image of the beast should be. Did we see the very same thing? An image was set up, a decree was given that whosoever not worship the image should be. Very same thing as Revelation, Daniel chapter 3. Are you following so far? Because what happened in Daniel chapter 3, and specifically also Daniel chapter 6, which we don't have time to study, is the same very thing that will happen in the last days. An image shall be set up, a decree will be given, and there is a death decree, whoever not worship the image of the beast. Are you following so far? That is what is going to happen. There will be a union of church and state. In Revelation 13, there's 2 beasts. Papacy as a church, America as a kingdom or the government or the state. A union of church and state. That's why in Daniel chapter 2, the feet is iron and miry clay. What's clay? God's people. Mixed with iron. What's iron? Kingdom. It's a union of church and state. Are you following so far? Okay. Now, we see that in building. Do you remember this guy? Who's that guy? It's Ronald Reagan, right? Who's that guy? Pope John Paul, right? There was a union of church and state. Even Time Magazine said the Holy Alliance. It was 1990 when Ronald Reagan and the Pope John Paul II combined forces to destroy USSR, the Soviet Union, right? December 25, 1990, the USSR fell. Are you following? It was a union of church and state. It was building up, my dear friends, to the last days. You see so many pictures of presidents coming up with the Pope and all these things. And again, we're not talking about the people, we're talking about the system. Are you following? Okay, let's proceed. Great Controversy 605, paragraph 3. Ellen White said, the prophecy of Revelation 13, what and what? Declares that the power represented by the beast with lamb-like horns shall cause the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the papacy. Now question, who is this lamb-like beast? Who? Lamb-like beast? USA, okay? Who will bring the people to worship the papacy? Huh? You read it, huh? It's the USA, right? Through its power, it will force people to worship the papacy. Are you following so far? Right? Why are they? What are they using to force people to worship papacy? A death decree, right? Just like Nebuchadnezzar. Notice what happened. To worship the papacy, they're symbolized by the beast like unto a leopard. This prophecy will be fulfilled when the United States shall enforce Sunday observance. Do we have that already? Not yet. Not yet, okay? It's still building up, okay? We still don't have Sunday law, amen? So there's still time to go to the movies, amen? Okay, it says, which role claims as the special acknowledgement of her supremacy. So this prophecy, Revelation 13, will be established when the U.S. government shall establish a Sunday observance. Did you know, my dear friends, before December 25, 1990, the people actually despised Ellen White as not a prophet. Did you know that? Why? Because they don't think America is the superpower. They thought it was Russia. But the Russians fell, and now the Americans. Prophecy is slowly building up, my dear friends. And just like Daniel and his friends, they stood up. You know why they stood up? Go to Daniel chapter 3. Oh, my dear friends, this is amazing. I have 15 minutes left. So many things to discuss. Daniel chapter 3. Go to Daniel chapter 3, my dear friends. Daniel chapter 3. Now, I want you to notice the 3 Hebrew boys stood up there, right? They stood up. They were not afraid to be thrown to the fire furnace. And you know what? The king went to them and said, is it true that you're not bowing down to an image? And the king said, I'll give you one more chance. If you don't bow down, we'll send you to the boat to be thrown to the fire furnace. And this is what happened. Chapter 3, verse 16. 16. It says, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer you in this matter. Did you see what Jesus did? I don't know if it's disrespectful or not, but they said, O Nebuchadnezzar, O king, we are not careful to answer you in this matter. You know why, friends? Because they know the answer already. That's why they said, we are not careful. Why? Because long before it happened, they know what to do. You know why, friends? Because they saw it coming. They saw it coming. That's why they were prepared for an answer. If they don't know the answer here, that means they were not able to prepare. The reason why they said, we are not careful to answer you in this manner. In fact, look at the next verse. The next verse says, if it be so, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king. But if not, be known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. The three Hebrew boys knows their own answer already. You know why? Because they saw it coming, friends. That's why they were able to prepare. You know, there's no technology before that could build an image that big, like this, in one day. It took years to build, my dear friends. That means while the feet is being built, the legs is being built, the three Hebrew boys saw it already. You know what? Probably they have a group meeting and said, hey, Nebuchadnezzar is building something fishy. He saw the feet. They saw the legs. Now they saw the hips. And it's about to be put into as a form of man. And they saw it coming. And that's why they were able to prepare. And my dear friends, I believe in the last days, many people will be lost because they were not able to prepare. Many people will be lost because they did not see it. The three Hebrew boys were able to prepare their lives and what is coming because they saw it coming. What about you, friends? Are you seeing prophecy being fulfilled? Notice this, my dear friends. A crisis is coming. A huge crisis, my dear friends. And there will be a decree soon enough given to each and every one of us. But only those who have the faith of the three Hebrew boys and the knowledge of the three Hebrew boys will survive the last days. Ellen White said, Great Controversy 579, 578 to 592. She said, political corruption is destroying the love of justice and regard for truth. And even in free America, rulers and legislators, in order to secure public favor, will yield to popular demand for a law enforcing Sunday observance. Who will enforce Sunday observance? The legislation. Why? Because the people are asking for it. Oh, it's impossible. It's not going to happen. But listen to this. This is 1998, May 31. The Pope said, therefore, also in the particular circumstances of our own time, Christians will, what? Strive to ensure that civil legislation respect their duty to keep Sunday as holy. This is on 1998. We're living in 2014. I'll show you something else, my dear friends. Sunday shopping, back in Croatia, ABC News. This is news everywhere, my dear friends, since 2005. This is German court enforces day of rest. This is 2009. Slowly it's building up. It's not going to be built up in one instance. That's why I told you when the image was built, it's not going to be just an image, certainly. It's going to be feet, toes, and all those things, right? The same very thing is happening, my dear friends. In fact, this is recent. July 6, 2014. Keeping stores open on Sunday is not beneficial for society, says Pope Francis. Even the Pope says that, my dear friends. Slowly it is happening. Great Controversy 605. I'm rushing through because we don't have any time. It has been confidently declared that this land could never become other than what it has been. What is she referring to? It is referring to the U.S. She said, it's never to be a tyrant nation, just like Rome. And by the way, that's the reason why we have the U.S., right? The land of the free and the home of the brave. Why? Because there was persecution in Europe. They transferred to find a better land in the U.S. Are you following so far? It says it's not going to happen. It says, become other than what has been. The defender of religious freedom. U.S. is a defender of religious freedom, by the way. It says, but as the question of enforcing Sunday observance is widely, what's the word? Agitated, the event so long doubted and disbelieved is seen to be approaching. Even she, in her time, she said, people are saying this is impossible. It's not going to happen. She said, and the third message will produce an effect which could not have done before. It says, this very class put forth their claim that fast-spreading corruption is largely attributed to the desecration of the so-called Christian Sabbath. Now, I need to explain this, my dear friends. Ellen White said that the reason why they need to have Sunday observance is because of the spreading corruption. People are getting corrupt, getting crazy. Crimes are going up. It is because we are not respecting the Christian Sunday. Are you following so far? Now, and that the enforcement of Sunday observance would greatly improve the morals is going down. We needed something to bring it up. What do we need? Sunday worship. People said it's impossible. I'll show you. It says, this claim is especially urged in America, where the doctrine of the true Sabbath was the most widely spread. That means Sunday observance should be imposed because the morals of the people are going down. People said it is impossible. Last 2 months ago, I heard the news. Arizona lawmaker wants church attendance to be mandatory. This very lady, Arizona senator, said we need Sunday worship for each and every one of us so that our morals should go up. People said it's impossible, and now it's happening. When I read that, I bowed on my knees and I said, Lord, it is coming. But my people are not ready. I'm not ready. Something is happening, friends. Yet we are too comfortable for it. Really, Lord. This is the state. He said, our people, they're people in the US, the teenagers, they go to spring break. They drink, rates are going up. You know what the solution is? Go Sunday worship. Is that what Ellen White said? It's very clear, my dear friends. Our nation, when our nation shall so abjure the principles of its government as to enact a Sunday law, Protestantism will in this act join hands with what proposition also said that you will see, especially young people, you will see Protestantism link itself to grace. Do we see that happening? And by the way, how many here are Protestants? Protestants? Protestants. We're all Protestants, by the way, as a church. Raise your hand, Seventh-day Adventist Church, you're Protestants. I want to ask you a question. What are you protesting about? See, many of us call ourselves Protestants, but when I tell you, what are you protesting about? We don't know. The reason why the Protestant church called themselves Protestants, people who protest against the Catholic Church. But we kind of forget about it. That's the main reason why we have a Protestant church, my dear friends. And by the way, when the papacy would link, and Protestantism and papacy would link itself together, you know what? Martin Luther is swallowing from his grave right now. Why? Because the reason why we went out of the Catholic Church as a Protestant is because of its tyranny and the false doctrines it's teaching. But we don't really care about it anymore. Ellen White said, soon enough it will happen. Protestant America will unite itself to papacy. That's what happened. And guess what? Vatican Radio, Pope Francis meets with the Pentecostal pastors. And this is happening, my dear friends. Ellen White said, Protestants will throw their whole influence and strength on the side of the papacy. By a national act enforcing the whole Sabbath, they will give life and vigor to the corrupt faith of Rome, reviving her tyranny and oppression of conscience. Now the Pope is making a move to unite itself to the Protestant Church. Catholic Herald, Pope Francis asked Waldensians, Christians, to forgive the church. You know who the Waldensians are? You know who the Waldensians are? Yeah? They almost got eradicated, by the way, with the papacy. And now the Pope is getting in, asking forgiveness. And by the way, a woman says 100 years ago by the name of Ellen White that the Pope himself will come ask forgiveness to what they did in the Protestant church. And now it's happening. Yet, our church is still sleeping. I want you to visit the website, john17movement.com. It's a website of all Protestant pastors and leaders in the church to unite themselves with the papacy. Oh, it's very good. There's nothing wrong with unity, right? But my dear friends, this is prophecy at its best. And I want you to notice, when you go to the website, scroll down a little bit and you'll see the video of the papacy or of the Pope asking forgiveness, and it said, we want the wounds to be healed. By the way, that's exact very thing that Revelation 13 says. The deadly wound is healed. And something is happening. Congress of the United States, the House of Representatives, invited Pope Francis to be the Speaker of the Congress in August. The very first Pope that was invited to be invited to speak for the Congress. Can you imagine that? People say, oh, look, it's not a big deal, right? It's not a big deal. But I don't know if Martin Luther is alive right now, he would probably be screaming. Why? This is, America is Protestant. And now a Pope is addressing a Protestant nation. And people say, oh, that's not really a big deal, right? But notice this, what I said. This is 100 years ago. People said it's not true. Listen. When Protestantism shall what? Hand across the globe to grasp the hand of the Roman power. When she shall receive the abyss to clasp hand with spiritualism. When under the influence of the threefold union, our country shall what? Now before we go here, you see where Protestant bishops shall what? Stretch your hand across the globe to reach the hand of? Did you see that happen? America, a Protestant nation, reaching its hand to papacy. Second thing that's amazing to me is this. Our country shall repudiate, what's this word? It's to refuse every principle of its constitution. So that means in the near future, the American people, American legislation will refuse its constitution. By the way, how did Americans make the constitution? It was through can somebody answer me? It was true. The Constitution of America is built upon the Ten Commandments, right? So there will be a time that the American people, American government will take away the Ten Commandments out of this legislation. Are you following so far? And did you know this very time, people said Ellen White is crazy. It's not going to happen. And by the way, just 3 days or 4 days ago, Oklahoma Supreme Court orders removal of 10 Commandments in every Supreme Court. That was just about 4 to 5 days ago. The courts ordered every 10 Commandment monument to be taken out. This is prophecy right before the very last verse. And yet we are still speaking. It says, and shall make provision for propagation of people falsehood and delusions, then we may know that the time has come for the marvelous working of Satan, and that when you see papacy uniting itself to America, when you see Protestantism going to the papacy, uniting themselves, Ellen White said, the end is. That's a message for us this day, my dear friends. My time is up. I needed to close. Ellen White said, the agencies of evil are combining their forces and consolidating. They are strengthening for the last great crisis. Great changes are soon to take place on the world, and the final movements shall be right before us. When I read that, my dear friends, it brought tears to my eyes. Why? Because every single month I see movements. And Ellen White said, it shall be rapid ones. And we see this all over the world, my dear friends. Tornadoes everywhere. I wish I could discuss everything to you. Disasters, drought. Even Newsweek says apocalypse is now. Earthquakes has gone in very big scales now, my dear friends. Typhoons, crisis, our economy is going down. Time magazine says the world is going down into bankruptcy. It shall be rapid ones. But as I close, my dear friends, I want to bring you to one of the most significant things that we are waiting for. And that is just recently. The White House is begun to be awakened. The gay movement, America, my dear friends, won 4 verses 5, if I'm not mistaken. 3 verses 4. Is it? 5 verses 4. To enforce legislation, Supreme Court, by the way, to put gay marriage as legal all over the U.S. And you know what's very significant to me, my dear friends? It is because of this. As I close, if you read the Bible, every single time God sends judgment to the earth, the very last act of the people is always homosexuality. If you remember, Sodom was destroyed, and the very last act of the people was homosexuality. It's always like that. And what said, it will reach its limit. And I believe, my dear friends, America has reached its limit. And what thing that is more significant to me, my dear friends, is this. The marriage institution that God has given was destroyed by a very nation that says we will uphold the Word of God. It is being destroyed in America. And I don't know why it said in the book, I think this home, page 314. That the marriage and the Sabbath had their origin. Twin institution for the glory of God in the benefit of humanity. I love what it said, marriage and Sabbath is a twin institution that God has given. Amen? Same day, God has put up marriage and the Sabbath. Marriage now is being attacked. You know what's next. It's going to be Sabbath. It's going to be attacked. The question is today, my dear friends, are you ready for what is going to happen? Few more quotations. Transgression has almost reached its limit. Confusions fills the world, and a great terror is soon to come upon human beings. Let's read the red one. It says, the end is very near. We who know the truth should be preparing for what is soon to break upon the world as an overwhelming surprise. It's going to be surprised, my dear friends. A storm is coming relentless in its fury. Are we prepared to meet it? As I close, let me tell you a little story. Last night, Pastor Paul came in this church to preach. And while Pastor Paul was preaching, after Pastor Paul preached, he came to me and said, Jasper, I was sleeping in your house. I was so surprised because I wasn't able to clean my room. It's a shame for me to tell you this, but it's an illustration. So he wasn't playing. He said, why? What is that telling to do, man? I said, I can't because I'm not part of the ringing in my house now. It's like boys' dorm now. So he said, no, I need to come. He said, no. We'll play another place. And he said something that shocked me. He said, Jasper, you're not a good Adventist. So what's the relation of being an Adventist in my room? He was joking, of course, but I was thinking, it's true. When Jesus comes, is your home ready? When the crisis breaks out, my dear friends, and I know it's going to break out, and I know it, I'm telling you this ahead of time, it's going to be just a few more months till the Sunday law is passed. It's not going to be years from now. I believe it's going to be months. This has been happening, my dear friends. That's why I said it shall be rapid once, and every single week, just go to Yahoo, go to CNN, and you will see things happening concerning prophecy. And by the way, we are not amazed that this is happening. You know why? Because we're not studying it. Things are happening, we're not studying it. That's why we're not even surprised. But my dear friends, I believe, I'm not scaring you, but as a minister of the gospel who is called to set an alarm, it's not going to be years, it's just going to be a few more months till this is passed. And I'm telling you the truth, and I wish we had time to study this. When the Sunday law is passed, you are already close in your probation. There's no more time for you. Close on probation for every single Sunday Adventist who has not accepted Jesus as his personal Savior when the Sunday law is passed. Only those who doesn't know the truth will be waiting for God, with God. The question is, my dear friends, is your homes, your family, your children ready for what is coming? Are you ready? Are you prepared for what is coming? I don't want to end, my dear friends, by scaring you, but as a minister of the gospel, I'll give you one. The Bible said in Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1, let's read that together and then we will pray. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of the people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never been was since there was a nation, even to that same time. Let's read that together. This is the promise. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in that book. Amen? I'll give you a promise, my dear friends, that even though there will be a time of trouble, every single one that gives his life to God shall be delivered. Amen? Just like the 3 Hebrew boys when they're thrown into the fiery furnace, Jesus was standing with them. Amen? In other words, that the only thing that was burned is the ropes that bind them in that fire. When the time of trouble comes, the only thing that will be taken out in your life is the thing that binds us from this world. Let us pray. Father in heaven, you know, Lord, that I have skipped so many slides. And you know, Lord, there's so many things to study now. Oh, I beg you, Lord, to give us time to study. Father, there's no more time. And you are coming very, very soon. And sometimes, Lord, we are not preparing ourselves and our family. Father, you have said that in order for us to be prepared, a great work of reform must be done. So, Father, I'm begging you, please change our hearts that we may have a great reform in this church. Bless the people who are here listening. And those people, Father, who are probably confused what we're talking about in this moment, bless them, Lord, and give them the desire to study, that when this time of trouble comes, they'll also be prepared. Bless their friends, their families, and their loved ones, that when you come, Father, we'll all be there, especially this church. May none of us will be left here in this world, but all of us there, Father, will be enjoying heaven. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. Bless us, Lord, in Christ's name. Amen. God bless you, everyone.